Hi everyone, Coach Steve here with our weekly dose of Monday motivation. So for those who are new to the channel or just checking in randomly, Monday motivation is how we as a community, Smarties, Part People and Smart Injured Solution, check in, help each other maintain a motivation, maintain accountability, and also help people find their mojo if they've lost it. Because what we're training for, and then I coach triathletes and runners and cyclists, what we're training for is actually hard. It's difficult. You're squeezing in a work-life balance. So this is us trying to find that motivation to chase that big scary goal. So if that sounds of interest, make sure you check out the playlist because we've discussed other things in this series where we look at setting that goal. Was it tracking by the numbers, getting accountability buddy, setting B races, etc. All of these little tools and techniques will help you keep motivated and will get you to that finish line and help you achieve that goal. So this week we're talking about B races because, as I said, I'm a big fan of B races. It's a bit of fun. They test where you're at. They're kind of a break up to the kind of structured training we're doing. So it's at this stage with a lot of people in their plans, they will have been ticking off B races and they're wondering, what's that mean? Okay. So a couple of scenarios here. Once off, you might have done a 10K running race and you're training for a half Ironman. You get a PB at that 10K. Brilliant. There's no need to go any further than that, as in that's just a slam dunk of a validation. Training's working, you're running better, and you're having fun. Brilliant. But there is the other scenario, and those are unusual, by the way, because if you're training for an A race, that's where the session structure will be aimed towards. If it's an Ironman, it'll be long bikes, etc. You're not doing kind of intense interval work. So those ones, they do happen, and when they do, brilliant, love them. But there are people they'll sort of do an Olympic they've done before and oh, I'm 10 minutes slower than I was beforehand, and that's not unusual. If that distance race is not the same distance as your A race, again, if you're training for an Ironman race and you do an Olympic race that you do all the time, it's not unusual to be slower because you're training different energy systems and and different zones. It's fine. But what I like to do in this is I like to take what I call the golfer approach to the looking at the results. Now, my dad was a big golfer, and I never understood the sport as I was never good at the sport. But I always remember him coming home and said, "How'd you get on, Dad?" And you go, "Oh, it was dreadful. I was 30 over par or whatever. He had a bad game." But there would be a pause, and then there'd be but you want to see this chip shot I hit on the 18th or the 14th, and he'd go into great graphic detail, and he had this zone in on this 4 hours of hitting the ball badly around the golf course. But he had this one positive moment which he completely fixated on. I thought that's a brilliant way to actually look at things, looking at just the positives. So how does that apply to us in our B races, as we're not going around in golf carts and trying to hit a very small ball into a very small hole? It might be a case if you say, for example, back to my previous example, where you're looking at the Olympic distance and you're training for an Ironman, but you're 10 minutes slower than you were before. You might have had a PB on the swim leg, or you just felt really comfortable on the bike, or your transition into a run was smooth. Find the positives and take that away. Don't dwell on the fact that arbitrary number at the time when it's not the big focus. Take the positives and go, actually, that makes sense. My plan has got me doing a lot more swimming, a lot more technique sessions, and I felt great in the water. That's how we do it. That's how we keep positive. That's how we keep motivated. So don't beat yourself up if the time is wrong. Look for the positives. Positives are what push us forward towards a big scary goal. So next week, what I'm going to talk about probably is about how to interpret, because a lot of the times people move from base into build, we'll be doing the retest. So I'm going to start giving you a bit of info on how to interpret those results. Those are a bit more apples with apples. So there's a way of looking at them. And before I move on, I just want to have a quick shout out to Helen Condris. That's came up in the YouTube handle. I hope I've got that right. She gave me my first ever super thanks. I didn't even know what super thanks were, but it's a way that people can kind of like send a tip for the video, which is brilliant. And again, focusing on the positives, I was having a bit of a not feeling great about my YouTube creation, video creation, and the rest, but this gave me such a boost as I was going, you know what? That's fabulous. I don't even know if Helen is on one of my plans. I tried to check, I couldn't get her exact email, but somewhere that my video landed and someone saw it and went, you know what, I've got a boost out of that, which is exactly why I've gone on this YouTube journey. Mainly to kind of help people understand more about triathlon, about training, about setting their goals. YouTube's the best medium for me, and I definitely resonated there. I'm hoping I'm resonating with you guys. If I am, make sure you're subscribed, thumbs up, and we'll keep we'll keep each other motivated. We'll keep each other accountable via these Monday motivation videos. And as we say in the Smarties community, trust in the process, the results will come. Have a great week's training and look for those positives, find them and nail them. Okay?